Hey everyone, Chris here, coming at you with something different this time. Not comics, not sci-fi, not Tyler Durden or anything like that. Tonight I'm coming at you with something deep in my heart. I've read comics since I was a kid, still do now. I love movies, love comic book hero films, love the obscure stuff like Fight Club and other genre films like Carlito's Way and so on and so forth. But I love horror. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. Anyone who has seen some of my previous videos know I have an extensive Freddy Krueger collection. I have all the premium formats from Sideshow just about. I had all the NECA figures and Mezco as well. I had over about 200 or 300 7-inch figures, and I ended up getting rid of them. I sold them all because sometimes we upgrade. We realize we don't need to collect certain things anymore, and I needed space, so I got a decent amount of money for them, and I got rid of them. The only things I do miss the Freddy Krueger line because I had them all. I had the whole Hellraiser line too, and I ended up getting rid of them. But it is what it is. I'm making the room for a few 1/4 scale pieces, and obviously 1/6 scale is predominantly what I'm into now. So anybody, if you don't know who this is the nun Valak from The Conjuring 2, from Conjuring 2, or from, I actually said it right the first time, The Conjuring 2, the Conjuring franchise. If you've seen the movies, they're really, really good. I love them. If you would have told me that the guy who directed Fast and the Furious movies was the same guy that directed these films, if I didn't know already, I would have told you that you're full of shit, because he has a very good knack, man, for feeling the pulse of the audience and knowing when to pump those jump scares and what imagery to use, to really scare the shit out of you. Really good. I mean, from Insidious, it was really good, the first one that he did, and then they fell apart after that. It is what it is. But the Conjuring series is going strong. He is killing it, absolutely killing it. I don't know if many of you know this, but there's a guy actually suing Warner Brothers for almost $1 billion. I'm not shitting you. $1 billion. Apparently, he owns the rights to the stories, and he's suing them now. It's almost calculated too, because after the first Conjuring came out, you knew. He already knew. He could have came at him then, but he waited. He knew there was a franchise. He was gonna get his top buck, the max buck he can get. Which is disingenuous, but whatever. But you can Google it on the internet and get some more of the details and then go from there. But Nun Valak was one of the core demons, the only demon in The Conjuring 2. You had Bathsheba in the first one, which was still terrifying. It was fantastic. And this one, the nun, man, was creepy as shit. Anybody that's seen the film knows it's creepy as shit. That scene when Lorraine Warren is in that room and the hands come out from behind the painting, which I have right there to the right side. It is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I have to thank someone for this figure. It was made by Legio 7 Workshop, but it was an individual named Angie. I think her last name or his last name was Richardson. We really didn't get in. It's kind of weird. I didn't want to ask what sex he or she was, because it kind of sounds weird. Like, hey, are you a guy or a dude? Because your first name's Angie. I don't know any guys with the name Angie, so I'm assuming that it's a girl. So for shits and giggles, we'll just say I'll refer to her as a girl. But apparently, she was telling me she was the first person to approach Legio 7 about doing this figure as a custom, and that's what led to the limited run. So I have the very first figure that was ever made. She was number 1. And they made a second version, which has the growling head sculpt with the teeth out and everything. That is fantastic. I don't know if that came as a second head sculpt or a second figure. I can't remember. But if anybody out there is watching this video and they have that second figure or that second, I'm assuming it's a second figure, because the head, the actual flaps on the side of the garb that she's wearing on her head, they're actually sutured or threaded into the. They're sewn into the actual fabric, so if you were to take the head off it, you kind of can't. And I haven't messed around with it too much to see if you can kind of dissect it out, so I just left it alone. So I'm assuming it's a different figure. So if anyone has that figure, feel free to hit me up, because I will buy it from you in a heartbeat. She also had Bathsheba, which is the first demon. She held on to that one, and I don't blame her, because it's awesome. but she was willing to put this up for sale, and I jumped on at the right time. When I first saw this figure, someone did a review of it and started posting some pics. I was going to, I hit Legio up, and they didn't have any more. Obviously, it was just a custom run, and I was going to hit up One's Customs to see if they could do it for me, or another custom studio. But it took me. I went back to my Michael Myers in my head, because I originally approached One's Customs about doing a Michael Myers, and I never heard back from him. I even sent another message saying, never mind, I found someone else, and I didn't even hear back from that. I don't know if there's some kind of secret handshake or some kind of secret password or some bullshit to approach them or deal with them, but I ended up spending my money somewhere else because they didn't get back to me. So, it is what it is, and it's a shame because they make great stuff, and they probably would have done a great job if that was even something, this anyway, the Nun Valak, if this is even something they would have taken on. But who knows, it is what it is. Well, one of my friends was telling me that, I think he's full of shit, but he was like, well, you do reviews, and maybe they don't want to sell you something because maybe you'll do a review of it and you'll trash them. I highly doubt that. There are people that review their stuff, it's like, and it's money, so who cares? So it's obviously bullshit. But again, anyway, I've been collecting for almost 20 plus years. Again, this is not like this. I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video, but this is not going to be a full-blown review. This is just me kind of venting and talking about horror, something I love. But I've been collecting overall for almost 20 years, or 20 years. I collected my first action figure when I was about 17 or 18. I'm 37 now, so yeah, 20 years. So I'm definitely not a noob at the hobby. But I definitely love it. And this is definitely a grail figure for me. Those of you that are on OSR or in Sideshow Freaks, you see me post a few things. I just posted recently a custom of Pennywise, which I have up on my Instagram page. Same handle, I Am Toys. You can check out some great shots of that figure. I got him from Dan Chung. Give him a shout out. His website's customfigures.com. Awesome figure. The only thing I did was remove the hair and rooted a new batch just to make it a little bit more screen accurate, which really worked out. And it was awesome. So again, this is not a full review, just sharing my love for horror and going to jabber on about horror movies and so on and so forth. So I'm going to zoom in on her and give you a close-up shot of the head sculpt, which is fantastic. And I'll jabber and bullshit on some more. And here you go, in my traditional fashion. Here's a close-up shot of this straight-up nasty, in my opinion, 100% on point head sculpt of Nun Valak. Incredible. Again, if any of you guys are out there and you want to sell the second version of this by Legio, please hit me up. It is fantastic. So, anyway, yeah, I got this. Really happy. The next thing I'm going to do is probably get another Michael Myers. Like I mentioned, I picked up on Myers from someone else after One's Customs never got back to me. And again, if anyone knows the secret handshake or password for these folks, let me know. But I see people posting stuff from their site all the time, or on their page, and sharing it on OSR. Never got back to me. Again, I'm really surprised. I was they would have gotten a lot of money from me, and especially from their work that I've seen, it's really, really good. And I really want. I literally had like a grocery list of stuff that I was going to hit them up on. And maybe they're busy. Who knows? Maybe that's why they don't get back to you. But a lot of people that I deal with, especially when it comes to custom figures, they usually always get back to you. I was dealing with Jack's Workshop, and Julio Sid is fantastic. I was originally going to get the Pennywise from him, but he's kind of booked up until like August or September. So I was going to wait, but I ended up moving on. I saw Dan Chung's version, and time was right. It was awesome, and I knew what I could do with it, so I modded it and picked it up. I go from there. And I'm picking up the King. I'm part of the 20 people that's picking up the King Willie head sculpt. If you've been following on OSR, or if you're a member of Jack's Workshop, check it out. It's really, really cool. It's a Facebook page. Go check it out. He's got some production shots of it up and a prototype up. It's phenomenal. That's another custom studio that really, really does a great job. And Julio was really good about getting back to me about things, and I really appreciate that. So Julio, if you're watching this, or anybody from Jack's workshop, and Nenny, if you're listening, thank you, because I was contacting you, and you were really cool about getting back to me as well. So much love. And Nenny's a fellow horror fanboy just like me, and there's a lot of us out there. So it's cool to see, or to know that there's a lot of people out there that we can that we get along with and that are into the same shit, which is really fantastic. So I'm thinking I'll probably give you a once over from the top to the bottom and show you the pick it comes with. Doesn't really come with much as far as accessories, but I'll show you what she comes with anyway. And I guess that's it. And then talk some more and keep sipping on my beer like I am now, and you know, that'll we'll probably close out after that. So let me give you a nice once over of this wonderful piece. Alright, so let me give you a once over of this badass piece of art. Obviously comes with the cross that she had in the film. Sorry if I'm messing with the exposure there. But obviously, yeah, it comes with the cross in the film. You know, I honestly, I can't tell you if it's metal or not. I think it's plastic. I actually didn't feel it out to see what it was made out of. But overall, very good. Yeah, nothing too fancy about the outfit. Basically what she was wearing in the film. I have her on a Batman base. Yes, I do, because I ran out of blank stands. And here is the awesome portrait that she comes with. Whoever was responsible for recreating that, I don't know if they just took it from the film or if they actually art printed that as an original piece, or drew it as an original piece first and then or what, but from the look of it, it looks like it was actually drawn originally. I can't be sure. I haven't really investigated it with magnifying glasses and a microscope yet. So either way, I think it's beautiful. It's an awesome accessory to have. You know, killer. As we make our way back up, I'll adjust that exposure so her face is not so blown out. But yeah, awesome job. Legio killed it on the likeness. I mean, it looks exactly like her. I mean, exactly like her. So, whoever, I don't know who it was who did the head sculpt from that company, but whoever you are, you nailed it. And I will definitely be hitting them up when I have other custom projects that I want to get into. Like I said, I'm going to get another Michael Myers in addition to the one I already have. I know 3.0 is coming out with a part 6. They're coming out with a Curse of Michael Myers one, and I really am probably going to get that. I mean, most people there, we can all agree upon that the first Halloween is the best, and no one has still put out a proper 1/6 scale part 1 Halloween figure yet, and it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if it has something to do with licensing or what, but Sideshow hasn't put one out yet, and I highly doubt we'll ever see Hot Toys doing it. But Sideshow also has a Freddy coming out too as well, so I can't wait for that. But the 3.0 part 6, I will get it just so I can have it. And the Michael Myers that I did pick up, once I had to move on from One's Customs, I ended up getting one. I can't even. I think it's actually, damn man, I can't remember the guy's name now who did it. You know, this is what happens when you drink and do reviews. But anyway, he did a great job. It looks awesome. I have it right now. It's not here, unfortunately. I would love to pop it up and show everybody, but I have it at basically the tailor essentially. So it's going to have the outfit touched up a little bit more, and then I'm going to do the blood myself and tweak it a little bit more, and that'll be that. Off the cuff, I went and saw, what the hell, what's it called? It Comes at Night last night. Oh man, if they really set you up in the preview for something else, kind of. So if I would have known a little bit more about what it was about, because I tend to not want to know everything about films when they come out, so at least you're surprised, especially when it comes to horror. And they set it up as one thing, and if I had known what it was really about, I would have liked it probably more. It was a good movie, but it was not what most people are expecting, which is why it got bad reviews. And it's not a bad movie, it just wasn't what I was expecting, so I'm not going to be that person who shits on it just because I was disappointed. There are a lot of people that shit on movies in general just because they walked into it and they thought it was going to be something else, and they get upset. And they're like, oh, it was crap. You can't do that, because the movie may be good, it just wasn't what you wanted at that moment. So, you kind of got to get over it. As far as horror movies coming out soon, we got the new It coming out, I think in September or something like that. That's going to be fantastic. You've got a new movie by James Wan. I think he's he's more of a producer on it, but it's coming from the same director who did Lights Out. And anyone that has seen Lights Out, the movie, check out his short film first before you watch the movie. Or, it doesn't even matter. Watch the movie and then watch the short film first. Very, very scary. Really disappointed that I wasn't rated R. But it is what it is. They try to get as much money as they can out of you. I'm glad that they're at least sticking to the R ratings with the Conjuring films. Very good movie, very good short as well. It's a shame it wasn't R, though, because I always look at R-rated movies and then PG-13, and when it's PG-13, I always look at where they could have pushed it a little bit farther with imagery or with effects and could have made it that much scarier. But this guy, he's doing the Annabelle sequel. James Wan is producing, he's directing it, and the first one, wasn't really that good, but this one from the trailers, man, actually looks really, really good. It's got a big-time Conjuring feel to it, and it's in the same universe, obviously, so of course it's going to have a Conjuring feel to it, but it looks really good. So I think I saw that, something about July, so I'm definitely on board with that. I'm definitely going to check that out. Again, James Wan's producing that, and if you would have told me that James Wan, man, same guy who did Fast and the Furious, if you told me he directed Insidious and all these other films, and I was a noob, to horror or whatnot, and hey man, the same guy who did Fast and the Furious did the first Conjuring, I'd be like, you're full of shit. Or hey, he directed Insidious, but he's really good at what he does, man. Horror is for me, I think horror is his talent. That's where he excels. So I'm very happy that he's in control of the Conjuring franchise. It's killer so far. Everything so far except for the first Annabelle. That was kind of weak. But like I said, the guy from Lights Out I wish I could remember his name, but he's home in it. So please check out his short film on YouTube. It's really, really good. So that's really about it. I think I've talked long enough. I left you with a nice long shot of her awesome face while I'm talking. And if you have any questions, comments, man, you want to share stuff, please feel free to comment. I'm going to post some high-resolution shots up on my Instagram of this figure, which are going to look probably even better than this 4K rendition. So if you have any questions, again, you can comment on the photos too on my Instagram. So feel free to like, subscribe, and so on and so forth. And I guess that's about it. So take it easy, folks. Deuces.